China's jails and it's a silver screen alone. I got a shiver hanging on me. Cold grills cut through the crane. Dead tripping bones holding on for that final say. Oh, come and let me down. I'm in traffic in my head. Let it ride, it's a heavy line.
Non-stop rock talk with Tyson Bryden. Welcome to Non-Stop Rock Talk. I'm your host, Tyson Bryden. On today's show, I'm very happy to welcome from the band Corvus Lore, Ryan Jones. Welcome, Ryan. How's it going?
Thanks, Tyson. Thanks for having me. It's going well, and appreciate the chance and opportunity to connect with you and your audience.
Thank you. So before we talk about the music, the band's music, possibly you can kind of give me a history on the band and possibly your background as a musician.
Yeah, I don't know how deep you want me to go, but I think just me, background-wise, I grew up in Southern California, Simi Valley specifically. Music has been in my family's DNA. My mom was a classically trained opera singer.
Oh, wow.
She never really did much with it, but she could hit some notes that would basically, she said, would loosen the fillings in your teeth. Wow. So my mom did, like I said, opera singing. My dad's mom was a trained pianist. She was actually the president of the Unified School District's LA County's music director for them. And she raised 3 kids, teaching piano to the neighborhood kids. She was a badass. Her name was Reb. So yeah, naturally I just kind of was already into music just through the family. And I just started playing one day, really, when I just saw a Mr. video. I don't know if you remember Take These Broken Wings.
Yeah, I love that song. Great song.
I do too. I always sang. And I remember one day I was sitting on my couch and that video came out and he was playing bass. I went, crap, I think I could do that too. So I actually taught myself bass and was singing, and the rest is history from there. I mean, I just, I taught myself guitar and was in all kinds of bands and Southern California for a while and just kept cutting my teeth in the LA scene for a long time and was very fortunate to connect with a lot of players. But primarily, I'm a singer at heart, singer and songwriter at heart. When I joined Corvus Lore, they forced me to play guitar essentially.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But and the rest of the guys, I mean, they're all incredibly seasoned professionals. We'll start with Mike Onetto, the bassist. He's hands down the best bassist I've ever played with. And like I said, I did a lot of session work down in LA and I played with some pretty big people. And Mike is without a doubt. I mean, we get in the rehearsal room with Mike and we all kind of look at him, watching him warm up, and we're like, he's in our band? I mean, are we allowed to be in the same room with this guy? I mean, he's a serious player. And he did a lot of session work down in LA as well. And Eric Frazier, our lead guitarist, another seasoned professional. He's been in all kinds of bands, was with a Latin rock pop band, signed with Sony Music and doing some tours over there in Europe. And he and Mike were in a lot of tribute bands. Well, not a lot, but some tribute bands together. And that's where that connection came from.
Okay.
But Eric is just another one of those guys where, he grew up here in the Bay Area, listening to a lot of the great rock and roll I'm sure that you and I have been listening to over the years, and all those influences, like Zeppelin and AC/DC. And of course, he's a big Eddie Van Halen fan. You can hear that in some of his styles. Joe Cloutier, monster drummer, was in a lot of original rock bands, and really cut his teeth throughout the whole Bay Area as well. Joe is just, he's just a monster of a drummer. I mean, he hits hard. Let's just put it that way. But he's a pure rock and roll drummer through and through. And, just a great dynamic how he adds the power, and Mike has finesse and power, and Eric has all the bells and whistles and do all kinds of wonderful things. So, but yeah, all the guys in a nutshell. I mean, been in the industry in and out of it for pretty much most of their lives.
Amazing. Now, did I read? I was reading your bio, and I believe you worked with Greg Bissonette at some point.
Yeah. So when I was down in, I grew up in Simi Valley, and when I moved to the Bay Area, I still continued to do a lot of recording down in LA. And I was doing my own stuff, my own material, and I was connected with a gentleman, Bob Pace, who is a very well-known recording engineer down in Simi Valley, and he and I were in some bands together as well. And Bob just had all these connections with all these people, and when I started coming in and tracking some of my own stuff, Greg was one of those guys that we had access to. So we sent the material to Greg, and Greg was interested, and he came in and did a handful of tracks for me. And he's just amazing. I mean, obviously we know who Greg is.
Yeah.
And he just, it was interesting. I had one song called Crosses and Promises, and I didn't know this at the time, but Greg was very faith-based. And he questioned me on what that song was about. Before he played on it, he wanted to know what that song was about. And I thought that was really cool.
That is cool.
And so I told him everything what the song was, and he's like, okay, we'll go ahead and play.
Wow.
But yeah, he's amazing. Phenomenal, right?
Yeah, I think back to when I was a kid and the Dave Lee Roth band, and I had a buddy who was a drummer, and we were like, this is our starting as musicians, was him and I jamming together. We didn't have a bass player, didn't have a singer, but we would jam together. And then when we weren't jamming, we'd be talking music, and Greg Bissonette was one of the guys that he admired so much. And I mean, Greg's a great jazz drummer, I believe, as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, he just has phenomenal instinct. I mean, I'm a writer and a singer, and so being a writer, I hear all kinds of things in my head all the time. And of course I hear drum parts. I'm not a drummer. And I'm one of those guys in the rehearsal room trying to tell a drummer how to do some. Joe loves that. He's like, just looks at me like, whatever. But I heard certain parts on one of the songs, actually the Crosses and Promises song that Greg did. I heard like this very interesting, like whole backbeat on the chorus. I didn't even tell him that, and he did it instinctively. I mean, he just,
wow.
Yeah, the guy's just phenomenal. He's great.
It's amazing. Now, I'm curious about the name of the band. I mean, and it's funny because I wasn't sure when the interview was proposed to me if it was a band or a solo artist, because it's kind of an interesting name.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Corvus Lore, the name is somewhat accidental. The original band was called Silent Picture Show on our first album, and the album title was Corvus Lore. And we, like probably a lot of other bands out there, at one point we were contacted by a legal entity saying that there's another band with a name too close to yours, and we had it first, blah, 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 blah. You guys need to change it. And so we're like, whatever, we didn't really care. And so it was Eric's idea, who just said, I don't know, what do you guys want to do? Corvus Lore. And like, just take the title off the first album and call it a day. And so no significant meaning or anything like that. I mean, Eric came up with the logo and the title Corvus Lore. He's really into Hitchcock and all that, so it has that kind of vibe to it, right? And Corvus, as you probably know, is just the scientific name for the raven, And so, yeah, that's kind of how it happened. We were surprised that we were actually able to snag the URL for corvuslore.com. I mean, it's like nowadays coming up with a band name, you can't get it, right?
Yeah.
So it just worked out. And actually, I think the name's a lot better.
Yeah, I like that name, actually.
Cool. Thanks.
But it's different. That's kind of what I was meaning. Like, it was just, it's catchy. It's one of those things where you're like, okay, you remember that because it has substance to it, I guess you could say.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. We dig it. We dig it. We've gotten a lot of feedback on it. So I appreciate that.
Now, this might be a funny question, but now in terms of the band's sound, I mean, what can you say about it? I know sometimes that can be very wide, open-ended question because sometimes the sound is up to the listener's interpretation.
Yeah. I think at a very high level, if you ask all the guys, we kind of describe ourselves as, heavy melodic rock. But what does that mean? We're very focused on, catchy melodies, right? Catchy guitar, riffs, the earworm.
Yeah.
But you also, in the process, you want to be authentic and true to yourself, and just, whatever comes out of your heart, musically speaking, just let it spill out and let it go, and don't worry about what the world thinks. There is, as you know, a mad science to creating a great song that is obtainable. The listener just automatically gravitates to it. I would, if you drill it down for me, I would say we definitely have a Zeppelin-y, mixed in with the Stone Temple Pilots to Rival Sons to a Cult mix mash is how I kind of describe it.
That's
in a nutshell.
That's a great match.
Which happens accidentally. I mean, none of us go into the room and say, let's sound like this. Again, it's all organic. It's just, obviously those bands are, influential, but, we're just doing our own thing, and whatever comes out, comes out.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of you guys as 4 members of a band, do you guys, I know being in a band where there's certain bands that you love and, you will talk about. Do you guys draw your influences from a lot of the same bands, or is it a wide spectrum?
I think we have a core that a lot of the same bands, resonate with us. Mike listens to, he's all over. I mean, his hero is Paul McCartney.
Cool.
So when you hear Mike play, I mean, that guy, even though he's in the same song of us, he seems like he's doing a different song entirely. His bass lines are very melodic, and he just weaves them into the song in a way where it works. Yeah. And so he draws a lot of influences from like the Beatles and a lot of other amazing bassists out there that I'm sure he could tell you all of them. Most of them escape me, but so he listens to a wide variety of music. Eric as well listens to a pretty wide variety of music. Joe, I would say he's a lot of classic rock, today's rock, but I know he also listens to some pretty influential drummers that are probably jazz and things of that nature. Me personally, I love, probably one of my heroes when it comes to music, just from a songwriting perspective, is Billy Joel. I think Billy Joel is probably one of the last great storytellers. Sure. When it comes to writing music. I mean, it's not easy. And gosh, listen to Scenes from an Italian Restaurant from Billy Joel. It's just friggin' phenomenal. Yeah. So he's a huge inspiration of mine. And I'll listen to, believe it or not, I'll listen to like a lot of dark synth, dubstep. I'm way into that stuff. I could do a whole album of that stuff if I had the time. But of course, singer wise, probably one of my heroes, which is many to many, as Chris Cornell. I mean, the guy just, yeah. I mean, he's got the range, he's got the character, great melodies, great lyrics. And Scott Weiland is another huge influence of mine. I think Scott Weiland is probably one of the most overlooked singers in rock and roll. I mean, that guy could pull a melody out of the sky and just, wow, make it be the earworm for the rest of your life. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the cool thing,
all over the board.
Pardon me, sorry.
No, we're all over the board a little bit with our influences, but.
Yeah, I mean, with STP too, it was kind of one of those things where I guess the first 3 or 4 albums, each one was kind of different from each one.
They reinvented themselves each time.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, phenomenal. And we have, not trying to compare to STP, but I think when it comes to writing music, like I said, you just got to let let it flow. What happens, and don't worry about what people think. And, I know Corvus Lore is a band from the first time we got together to where we are now. We're a completely different band. I mean, we've evolved. Our writing is a bit more, I want to say, just diverse and how we come to writing the songs and what we're willing to go and where we're willing to go with the song. So yeah, I mean, Beatles, the same thing too, right? I mean, there's tons of bands out there where they're just totally different from where they started and where they end up. And it's just interesting though too. Some of them kind of circle back, right?
Yes. Yeah, they do. And you wonder if they circle back because, sometimes as your career goes on, you hit this plateau and then maybe things aren't as great as they were. And then you kind of go back to, the point where you're like, well, maybe we need to go back to our roots of where we started, of what we sounded like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's such a funny thing in music because there's always, your favorite band, and say you have a buddy who's, it's his favorite band, and you're like, no, this album's the best one. No, this one's the best one. People always have those judgments, right? Right.
It's like you look at Van Halen. I mean, there's the great debate with that, right? This one was the best. It was one, but they're all amazing, really. And
yeah,
I don't know. It's whatever works for you, and just go for it and don't worry about it.
Yeah,
the music is just amazing. The biggest thing for me is like what I love about music is there's no rules.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
true.
There's no rules to it. Just take it for what it is. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But to me, it's like the ultimate form of like human expression in a lot of ways. I mean, it's incredible. You think about it, as you go through life, what's the one thing that usually leaves a stamp in time in your life? A lot of the times it's like, yeah, remember we went here and gosh, remember that song? We played that album the whole time, all that stuff. And it's kind of like I look back at trips and I'm like, yeah, I played the Cult Love album nonstop,
I do the same thing.
On this vacation. And when I think back to that time, it's like, that's left an impression. And, as a musician, I hope that we could do the same thing, Yeah,
it's kind of like the soundtrack to your life if you were to make a movie about yourself,
Exactly.
Right, which is cool.
Yeah.
And getting back to that Van Halen thing, it's so funny because, like mentioning, there's always that debate of David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar, and I'm a fan of both, and I love both of them. To me, it's two different styles of the band a little bit, but it's
I agree. I mean, you have the Sammy fans and the Roth fans, and I think they're both great music. I would probably gravitate a little bit more towards the Roth theory.
Yeah.
Roth theories,
Yeah.
But
you know what? There was a time I do love the Sammy stuff, but as I go back and listen to it now, I think 5150 was brilliant, and then OU812 was a little bit but I loved it when it came out, and now I don't love it as much as I used to, but I can go back and listen to like Van Halen 1 or Fair Warning or 1984 and just really love listening to that, right? So I think it's
you talk about a band going back about like just trying different things. Look at Jump, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here you have arguably the world's greatest guitarist playing keyboards the whole time. And I know at the time Roth was a little pissed with all the keyboards entering
I know.
the 1984 album. But that's just the brilliance of music, It's awesome.
But I mean, the thing about that keyboard was it sounded like no one played keyboards with that type of sound that he had, like that Eddie used. It was kind of different, right?
Yeah, maybe people are going to start chasing his keyboard tones.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they all chase his guitar tone, so I'm surprised they didn't try for the keyboard tone.
Eddie Van Halen keyboard tone.
You can see the infomercial now.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Romantic Traffic. And this is the latest song and video, I believe, on Valley of Fire Records. I love the video. There's some comedy in it, and I love the plane sequences where you're in the plane.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, really thought that was cool. And it's funny because you mentioned STP, and I totally got an STP vibe from that. Maybe something off of Purple, which I thought,
rad.
Yeah, which was cool.
Well, I'll take that all day long. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's a huge compliment.
Possibly you can tell me a bit more about the song, and does the video coincide with the actual lyrical content?
Yeah, it does in a lot of ways. So first of all, thank you for the compliment on the video and everything. That video was a ton of work.
I really enjoyed it.
The song Romantic Traffic is essentially about a lot of crazy international travels I've had over the years. A lot of people view traveling as, it's awesome, it's brilliant, it's glamorous, but there's also a pretty dark side to it as well. It can be rigorous, taxing, stressful, puts a lot of strain on relationships and people that are you're very close to, and you just kind of wear down from it all. And what I went through was a lot of that. I essentially at one point a few years back, I felt I was practically living in Asia. I was just, it just was really hard. I was just gone all the time. And so Romantic Traffic, when penning lyrics, was not only about just the travel itself, but also what I'm talking about is the mental traffic that's going through your head. And that's probably the most difficult thing of all, right? And when I was penning the lyrics, every single lyric in that song has to do with an actual experience or a conversation I've had with somebody in my travels. Like there's a line in there. I'm probably revealing something here that nobody knows, but there's a line in there in the second verse that says, "I got a ginger dog." And that ginger dog is basically derived from a conversation I had with a bartender in China, where he was telling me growing up that his family and his mom and dad, all they had to eat were ginger dogs. And it was just how they survived. It's crazy, and it just kind of blew me away. And I know I've heard of that stuff. I think we all heard stories similar, right?
Yeah.
But that line, when he shared that with me, it really stuck out to me in a lot of ways. But there's a million other lines in there that, have a similar effect, So when we get to the video, what we wanted to do is we wanted to show kind of like the dirty side or the uneasiness side of traveling, things that make you go, or uncomfortable. So again, we go to the scene in the cab where we have, the no space etiquette guy in the back crowding me. We've been in those situations. You're watching over your shoulder in the elevator, and you get to the plane and you're always worried about what's the crew like or whatever.
Yeah.
So we really want to exaggerate what the crew was going to be like in this video. And Joe Cloutier, our drummer, he played the pilot. I
know, it was awesome. And he's
I
drumming.
I didn't know he was a stand-up comedian. I mean, he should get in comedy. I mean, I was blown away. It was awesome. And V. Montron, who played the flight attendant, I mean, she was amazing. She really stole the show. I mean, she just totally ad-libbed, freelanced. We just let her go, let her do her thing, and she just knocked it out of the park. So super fun. And that plane is actually the plane that they used in Goldfinger's 007 007's Goldfinger movie in 1964.
No way. Oh, that's
cool. So I think they use some of the outside scenes of the plane itself, but that plane was the actual plane that derived the inspiration for, and they used certain shots of that plane for the movie itself. So we didn't know that until we got in the plane, and it was up at Santa Rosa, Northern California, and at an air museum, and the people there were walking us through it going, "Oh yeah, by the way, this plane was using 007's Goldfinger movie in 1964. I'm like, crap, that thing's from the 60s. It doesn't look it.
Wow.
Pretty posh.
So it was in good shape still.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we almost didn't get into it. It was locked and they couldn't find the key. But yeah,
Really?
almost ruined the whole video shoot. But yeah, the video came out amazing, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention the actual director and producer, who was Mike Slope, who he just, I wrote the script, I gave it to him, and then we just dissected it, and he just brought that vision and was able to piece it all together and edit it in a way to tell the story that's just incredible. I mean, Mike is, the premier Bay Area video director, producer. He does a lot of stuff with Machine Head, and I know he did a lot of stuff with Testament. And
Oh, wow.
if you're looking for a rock video, Mike Sloat is the guy to go to.
Cool. And it's funny, in my notes, I mentioned the flight attendant, and I was kind of, how was that? Like you said, she kind of improvised a lot of it, but was there a reason why, like, that flight attendant's kind of a little bit, I don't know, like crazy, I guess, almost. I don't know. It's, I would assume it was supposed to be that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We wanted again the crew to be like over the top. Like the first scene when they get introduced, they're walking on the plane and they're trading little bottles of alcohol. Yeah. It's like, okay, right. She's poured me a glass of whiskey, which actually was whiskey mixed with maple syrup so we could slow down the pour.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a video trick, is it?
I don't know. I just did that thinking it'd be needed. Yeah. I don't know if it really worked for the effect that I wanted, but we tried.
Oh, that's cool.
But then like the gas mask, I mean, that's a real 1960s Russian gas mask. Yeah. And we just wanted over the top and craziness. And V just, again, I mean, you see all the scenes in there. She's aloof. She doesn't care.
Yeah.
And she's going to do what she's going to do.
Have you ever experienced a flight attendant like that of all your flying? Probably not, I would assume. No, not like that. But there's been a few where, okay. Yeah. Is that all I can say? Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Now, the artwork, is that the artwork? So when you go on a streaming site, there's the artwork for it. Mm-hmm. Is there going to be an album, like a full album that song is going to be on?
Yeah. So the first single was Boxing Ballerina, and this second one now is Romantic Traffic, and it is on a full album called Lucida. So the album is recorded with Tim Narducci, producer and engineer, phenomenal producer and engineer, great singer and songwriter as well. And we did 9 songs. And the plan right now is, I think we're going to, I spoke with the label just the other day, we're going to probably do another single. Wrap another video around it, release that, and then I think the strategy would be is release the full album afterwards.
Cool. Yeah, because you know what, on Amazon Music, which is the streaming site I use, that is the only song that is on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, okay. which so I'm like, oh, I went on to it. I'm thinking, okay, is this a whole album? And then I clicked on it, and it was just the one song and nothing else. So that's where my confusion was on that, and I had to ask. So
yeah, there's another single out there. It's Boxing Ballerina. So
okay,
why it's not on Amazon? I guess we have to look into that.
Yeah, but the artwork for the song looks really cool.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So the album, the art tile was done by Cryance Official. They actually did the first one, Boxing Ballerina, as well. And Cryance Official, again, just like you were asking about, did the video really depict the lyrical content and everything that we're doing? So does the artwork. I mean, you look at the artwork and you have this bold and brave woman on her own in a dark city, which we wanted to kind of look Gotham City-like. The details are unfinished. Like you look at the lamps, things are unfinished, unsettled. And that's kind of like how I was describing how the travel is, right? You just don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty, and you just got to be bold and brave and do things sometimes. And so, Cryant's Official just really knocked it out of the park with that artwork. We thought we're super stoked with it.
I loved it. It looks really good. Really good. It really stands out. It's awesome. So
Yeah,
before I let you go, possibly we should promote Corvus Lore a little bit more, give my listeners an idea where the band can be found on the internet, of course. And yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, right now we're just doing a lot of shows in California only right now. We're trying to branch out to get out to, other states and ideally start opening up for some nationals. But right now we're specifically in California only, but we'll get out there to other states soon enough. And of course, corvuslore.com, and we're on all, streaming services. You can look us up. We have our own YouTube channel, and again, we're under Valley of Fire Records, so you can find us there as well. But yeah, whatever it is that is your poison in terms of getting your tunes, if it's Apple or Spotify or anything like that, we're all there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just look us up and check us out, and hopefully you dig it and tell your friends.
Yeah. I mean, I dig it, and hopefully people will hear this interview and check out the band, and
yeah, that'd be fantastic. Just you having me on board today and being given an opportunity to talk to you and your audience is awesome. So I really appreciate it, Tyson.
Oh, you're very welcome. It was a pleasure. It was great to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. You too.
And are you on Facebook, Ryan?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, I'll look you up so that I can tag you in the interview when I post it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, okay. You'll find me there.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, man. Thanks so much. And hopefully,
all right, Tyson.
Hopefully we get to talk again. And best of luck.
Yeah. Yeah, and stay warm, okay?
I'll do my best. I'll try. Big coat.
All right, man.
Right on. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I see them little sisters slip through the dirty street.